Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Song of Tara. We have managed to gather up the whole group again, although last week we were, as we mentioned back then, we were short a Shiva on account of her having her player having packed his bags and gone off to Scotland. He has now joined us from the lovely, lovely city of Glasgow.
Yes, it's very wet.
Well, you just said it was dry today.
Well, on a general level,
All right. So
I think this is the first day where it hasn't rained.
fair enough. On that note, I would like to start today by saying that there were a couple of audio hiccups on last week's recordings. Primarily because I made a technical boo-boo by having a few windows open with information that I needed, and then suddenly sound files began playing on those, and they can actually be heard on the recording. This is obviously not optimal. It's very short, it's only for a few seconds, but I have learned my lesson, and hopefully that shouldn't happen again.
You suck. We need a new GM.
Yes, clearly. I'm horrible and bad and all these things.
Oh.
And on that note, Chris, kindly take us through what happened last time.
Things happened last time. That's good. No, we set about basically trying to follow the leads left to us by the Blood Wolf. First things first, Taliesin did his best to take charge of a rotten situation, and got Taran to go into the Umbra and contact Raven to see about if he could lend his aid in defending the cairn, seeing as the pack were the only werewolves in the whole of Dublin at the time that we are aware of. That's, serve Gaia, technicalities and all that. We were basically, Raven spoke some philosophical stuff, and was very meaningful. Got one of us to stay behind in the form of Shiva, seeing as their player went absent, so having a Shiva stay behind by proxy was perfectly acceptable in that circumstance. Then Taliesin also revealed his intention to follow the lead of Bubble for following the cats, after having put together 2 and 2 with the business card that they had found in the window of their car a few sessions ago outside of St. Patrick's Cathedral, which had a stylized cat's head on it. There was a bit of a to-do between the various between members of the pack about the right course of action. Conrad was on the warpath, being a get of Fenris and an all-round jerk-ass, but that's just him. Yes.
That's just the way he is.
Fenner was able to calm him down. Well, not calm him down. He was able to wear him out. Is more the correct term. Eventually, we all went out into.
Wear him out. I'm tempted to remind you here that Guru shall not mate with Guru, but
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
All right, go on, Chris.
That's not
Go
how
on.
she wore him out.
Well, if you can't make an innuendo out of it, it's not worth saying.
What do you mean? What do you mean in your endo?
Can we?
No, Joan. We're talking about an Nintendo.
Oh,
That's 2 strikes. A third one, we get an extra XP. No, and yes, we basically ended up heading in the direction of the business that the card advertised in the form of Rajat Panja Limited. On the way, we saw a woman repeatedly, the same one in several different places. We later found out this was because she's able to move at immense speeds.
Also, she was shy. The moment I waved at her, she ran off.
Yes, skittish,
Very shy.
like cats. We got to the location, went inside. It was early hours, but the place was open and everything was on and unlocked. We went in and we had a meeting. I can't remember the exact word for it, but we had a semi-formal, peaceful gathering and parley between us as the representatives of the Guru Nation and representatives of the Bastet, of the Werecats, in the form of their current leader in Dublin and the island area, in the form of Isha Khan, quite literally Khan. He is of that particular breed of werecat and that he can transform into a giant fucking tiger. Very charismatic, very keen to talk. We established a good rapport, and we have come to an arrangement that Kat, the Bastet, will assist us in holding the fort at in Dublin, killing some vampires on our behalf because they are good at being quick, quiet, and deadly in a way that even Guru can't be. So they will be stalking vampires and sowing chaos among them while we're able to then pursue other goals as necessary, which will probably also involve killing vampires, but we shall see. In return, we've agreed to, for our part, respect what is currently their territory and speak on behalf of them to our sept and convince them, can we please not be so, eager and aggressive about trying to kill them all, seeing as they are trying to establish good relations with us. We should try, extend a paw in friendship, as it were. Talks were mostly good. We had a minor incident brought on by Taliesin's emotionalness, but it was all smoothed over fairly well. We have a good deal, and we all returned back. The pack returned back to the cairn, having made good progress, having fulfilled their part of the upcoming prophecy. We have made an ally of an old enemy. I'm not sure if we've vanquished old fears as such, not yet, but we are certainly on the way there in terms of the prophecy.
Also, I realized it was a really good thing that Shiva weren't there. I'm pretty sure it would be very awkward with Taryn calling her Simba.
Yes, we did. We had several different breeds of Bastet greet us. We had the Khan, obviously. The one following us was a were-cheetah. And we had, oh goodness me,
A bobcat and a cougar.
A bobcat and a cougar, yes. Both of whom were whose human forms were of Native American ethnicity, and neither of whom were particularly pleased to have us there in the first place.
To be completely fair, they were an American, and they kind of wiped out most of the natives.
Well, let's face it, AJ. If Shiva was a Bastet, she'd totally be a Simba.
Yeah.
I don't know how that tribes or breeds work, but that's my.
That's a were-lion.
Should be a lion.
Simba are the were-lions. They are the most regal and royal of the lot. They're also
the only ones that are pack-oriented.
The only ones that are pack-oriented, and they're the most arrogant of the lot. And it's a toss-up between them and the Khan as to who are the better warriors. Neither of them are the most violent.
Well, that seems fitting.
Please tell me there's such a thing as were...
Oh, as were
Please
what?
As were hyenas, because otherwise I don't know what Finna would be if she was a werecat.
There are. But they're not classified as Bastet.
But they're felines.
Yep.
But there are hyenas.
We're hyenas.
Yeah.
They make the funniest.
There are very few. They have very nearly been hunted into extinction by the Simba, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, they are natural enemies, and what did I say?
They have the funniest sounds when they're happy.
Oh.
Well, just to be anal about it here, while hyenas are filiformia, they are not Filidae. They are Hyenidae. So they are from another family.
That's something like.
So, anyway, guys. As Chris mentioned,
we exploded.
No, you didn't. You ended up back at the cairn. It's the sun has just come up, which means that the gates have been opened to the green. It's definitely it's definitely bedtime for most of you, I would think, because most of you have been going for close to 24 hours. But at least you have a few moments of peace and quiet.
Don't say that! You're...
Seriously,
think,
we can sleep when we get old, and in this world, we don't ever get to get old. Woo. It's a win-win.
I think they, in that case, they might find Shiva on a bench, listening to some music and watching the sunrise.
Yep.
How positively delightful.
Well, she doesn't look delighted.
There's
Does she not?
there's typing going on, a lot of it.
Hello.
Yeah. So you're looking delighted.
No.
Less than...
Less than delighted. Yeah, well, I can't hear. I can't focus with the.
But I muted it.
You're looking less than delighted. Okay.
She's looking exhausted, to be
Well,
specific. But that seems fitting.
yes, it does.
At least it's no longer mentally exhausted. Now it's just exhausted. She did get willpower back.
She's still below half willpower. But
Yeah. She's
not as mentally exhausted.
still tired, but
That's a good point. Who actually does have the most physical willpower at the moment?
physically.
I don't
As in
know.
Current willpower or permanent?
Current.
I have 3.
I have 4. Wait,
Noise.
3 is less than half? Holy shit.
Okay.
Okay.
then there's-
So most of you
And
have
then there's-
3. And, sorry, go on.
And then there's Aaron, who has full willpower at 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, she is a very finicky and timid girl. That is kind of what I wanted to convey with her willpower.
Shiva's full willpower is 7.
There you go, very willful.
Well, that seems to fit her, doesn't it?
It might
Okay.
still be an idea to, at some point, maybe invest a little bit in more willpower for Darren. Just a suggestion. Anyway,
Okay.
guys, you are now back
Maybe.
in the green. What do you want to do?
If it
That's
fits her character later on, maybe.
I think Taliesin will check with Shiva that all is nothing. No mentionable has happened while they've been gone.
Well, then I'll have to ask our storyteller.
Absolutely nothing has happened except for the local wildlife in the cairn. Ducks and a couple of swans and even a squirrel have all come by to interact in some way.
So that what
in
you're
the
telling
case-
me is
In the case of the ducks, they left when they realized you didn't have any French loaf to toss at them.
so what you're telling
Right.
me is Shiva actually felt like a Disney princess.
Yes.
No, you need a couple of little birds to come to and make you a dress.
They sleep at night though.
And a few mouse.
The in any case, the ducks were complete assholes, but other than that, yeah.
That's like,
But that is the most
Awesome.
exciting thing that has happened while you were waiting.
In that case, the answer will be, well, I chatted with a few animals, but aside from that, I took the time to work out a few things.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we've achieved what we wanted to.
Yeah?
The lead led us straight into the heart of Bastet territory.
I think you can see the excitement blooming in Shiva's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
turns out that they can actually go through Duracell.
Yeah,
Is
that's,
that all it's... No, wait, yeah, she did make it to Tara.
She went to Tara and back without issue.
That was
So
the
they,
Weren't yesterday.
tell me everything.
we got into their territory. We were tracked on the way in, but nothing too serious to worry about. When we met with them, they were surprised. Well, their leader was surprisingly cordial. Wanted to negotiate or just talk and try and establish some positive relations between our two species, as cliche as that sounds.
That sounds awesome.
Hmm.
Shiva looks really surprised because this was another rare thingy and it wasn't a ball of rage. She's just so happy.
Basically, we have agreed we will try our best to respect their territory and convince the members of our sept to do the same, not operate aggressively towards them. And in return, they're going to aid us in defending Dublin against the vampires, or just killing the vampires in general, while we do what we need to here.
Well, that seems fair.
We have our strange allies.
Yeah, and it seems like we might get more of them, right? I mean, that's a good thing.
Indeed. But yes, so good relations. We have something to do for them, but that's only when the sept get back, if the sept get back. As it is, I think we've done quite well tonight. One thing I will say, we're all bloody knackered.
Yeah.
What's our goal, though?
What?
What is our next goal? We got the cats, now what?
Right now, we fucking sleep.
Do we take turns?
We can go somewhere else. I'm not sure. Well, the park's about to open. The public's coming in. I'm not sure they're going to be happy with just seeing people sleeping around on the benches.
Well, I suppose we would be safer during the day.
Yeah. But I think you may have a point. It might be good for someone to stay here and look after the place while the rest of us go and rest. And then the other person can rest afterwards.
Maybe we should be two here, just in case.
I
Maybe.
can take the first shift.
I'll stay with you then. Alright. The rest of you three then, go off, sleep. Make sure you're refreshed for when we need to be out there killing things.
You can go to my apartment. Here's the key.
Thank you.
Sally?
Karen hands whoever is closest the key because it's closer by and there's room enough for them all.
Sally?
Hmm?
I actually got some sleep last night, so, last evening. So maybe it's better that you get some sleep first, and I might be a little more awake than you right now.
Yeah, Taliesin gives it some thought and then nods, a grateful expression on his face. Alright then. Thank you. Any problems? One of you, yes, any problems, do what you can. One of you will have to come straight to us and get us physically. If we're going to be asleep, we're not going to be able to respond to any messages.
At the very least, call
Yes.
Depends how
Sarah
deep
looks up. I can just trip all the alarms in the house. They'll wake you up.
us. Yeah.
I suppose.
Well, let's go then.
Okay.
And I think on the way out, I think Shiva, squeezes Taliesin's shoulder in a supportive fashion.
Taliesin reaches over and sort of pats her back.
Pat her back.
Yes.
At first, I was afraid you were going to say backside.
No.
Aw. Well, thank you. Let me squeeze your bum.
No. Taliesin is far too traditionally minded for that when it comes to guru relationships.
Yeah.
Let's say it that way. Okay, so I assume we will get to the car.
Yep. Nothing stops you on the way, at least.
We're waiting. I'm still waiting for something to happen.
Something terrible and earth-shattering and stuff. No, it's not happening yet.
Yes.
Persist on yet.
As they leave, Taryn just sits down on the bench, looks at Fenner, and goes like, "You think Bastard counts as being Garou?"
They are not Peru. I don't know
No,
if it's against the litany, but if it is, I don't want to know.
Why not?
If I don't know it's wrong, I don't know it's wrong.
What's wrong?
I don't know. It might not be wrong.
I'm just curious. I mean, they talked about temper. I just wondered if they counted as being Garou in the litany, or if they didn't.
Yeah, and I
You've been
said,
told-
I don't know. I don't want to know if it's against the litany. I don't want to know if it's wrong.
You want to bang a cat?
Oh, come on, I saw how you look at him. You want to.
I
You
have
want
Thina.
it.
I have to remind myself I have Thina.
Just don't judge me, okay?
Yeah, but I have Thina.
Just don't judge.
He was a pretty kitty, though.
Well,
Allie is slow. He just found out it's called Svenska Hår.
svenska garn.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we move to Taryn's apartment.
Mhm.
Does the car in fact explode on the way?
Nope.
That would only happen if you took a taxi.
Do we encounter any roadside bombs? Landmines?
Nope. Nothing bad
Atomic
happens.
bombs.
You arrive there in one piece, safe and sound. Nothing bad happens to you. Isn't that incredible?
What, they
I
aren't
don't
even they aren't even assaulted by drunken Irishmen?
Not even. It's too early. The drunken Irishmen are
Also,
still
all
asleep.
the drunken places has been shut down.
So basically, you have a perfectly ordinary, normal drive through the city where nothing bad happens.
Yep.
Something's wrong.
When we get to the building, check every door, check every room, sweep the place like in a military fashion.
And then by the time you're done with that, it's time to go back and start for the evening, and you haven't gotten any sleep after all.
Oh, won't take that long. Okay, so we
Nope,
get that.
I'm getting the impression that I've gotten so paranoid, Joe, and I have no idea what's going on.
Me
Uh,
neither.
I don't see where it comes from personally.
No! I have no idea where that comes from.
Who are you and what have you done with Aya?
What?
I
Okay.
think it's perfectly normal to check for roadside bombs in the middle of Dublin.
That's a stereotype.
It's falling.
Well, stereotypes usually have their roots in reality.
I got to say, yeah, it won't be Dublin. It won't be Dublin. It'll be closer to the Northern Irish border or places in England.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Huh.
Anyway, moving on from that sordid topic. So is it Taryn's apartment? We said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is
It's the
Fina
thing
there?
called.
Fina is she's
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Is Aya breaking up for other people as well?
No, not for me.
No, it's just half the time I have issues hearing what she's saying.
Are you saying I'm breaking up with you, Hella? I never said such.
I didn't
Are
even
we
know
ever
you two.
together?
I didn't even know you two were an item.
Me neither. I'm surprised.
All right.
I am not an item, and I would like it if you wouldn't objectify me like that. I am a real person, thank you.
Oh,
Try to tie
You're
a
a-
tiger. Now, come on.
you're the female version of Pinocchio, are you? You're a real girl. Oh, this just got really meta. All right, let's get back in character, guys.
Why would you go there? Why Pinocchio? I hate you. Pinocchio is absolutely horrible.
Yes, it is.
In any case, if Fina's there, then we'll probably have her watch out while we get some sleep.
Yeah, she's basically she's getting out of bed, and well, she's just gotten out of bed when you guys get there. She's shuffling around in her pajamas and making coffee and generally looking like something, something not, death though not quite warmed up.
That's sex on legs to a guru.
I sent her a polite grunt when I get through the door.
She holds up the coffee pot.
No, we're gonna sleep.
All right.
What's with that, Fina?
And you go,
Yes, I just let this.
go crash and sleep, and I will try to have something edible ready for you when you wake up.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to when she actually reads her messages and sees the last one.
What? Sorry? One more time?
I'm looking forward to her reading her messages and sees the last one Taryn sent.
Which one was that?
She asked her if she could get a cat.
Oh, right, that's
Can we get a cat?
She hasn't seen that yet. She was asleep at that point.
Yep, I'm imagining that because that's only, an hour earlier or something?
Yeah.
That was as they left the room.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
I think one of the last things the rest of you guys hear then before you collapse in the bed is like, what the fuck does she want a cat for?
Explain later. Sleep now.
Yes, sleep.
Da. I just the idea that when Taliesin's really, really tired, he defaults into Welsh aggressively.
Yes. So, you guys get some rest, and I'm assuming that you are making a changing of the guards later in the day so that everybody gets some rest throughout the day.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in that case, we shall... you had something, Helle?
Well, yeah, then before she goes to sleep at some point, she wants to go by Nala's place and see if she is actually alive or what.
Nala is still not home.
She is not home, okay. I don't remember, did she live with her parents or?
No, she lives on her own.
Okay.
She's the oldest of your friends. She's the one who lives on her own.
Well, Fenna takes a peek in her mailbox to see if it's been emptied recently.
It hasn't.
Not a good sign. Well, Fenna probably doesn't know how good she is at emptying her mailbox, but it doesn't seem like a good sign. Not good.
Nope.
I imagine Taryn has gone with her because they probably got, shift time at the same time.
Yeah.
She doesn't want Fenna to go alone anywhere in this ticking time bomb of a town right now.
Okay, is anyone nearby? Like within you?
Just anyone in general, or
Just anyone in general. Anyone in general.
No. You are on a you're in a small neighborhood, rather secluded. Really, it looks kind of small villagey rather than being in the middle of Dublin, but it is. And at this ungodly hour, people haven't crawled out of bed yet.
Well, this is after the shift
Oh, that's
change.
true. This is after the shift change. In that case, let me check. Yeah, true. Let me see. Dice. Here we go. No, you're lucky. Nobody there.
Okay. Dennis lifts the door handle to see if it at least smells faintly of her still. Or if it's just all metallic and her scent is completely gone from it.
No, you can still catch her scent, but it's days old, so it's faded quite badly.
Fuck. That's in character, by the way.
Yep.
Would it be easier to follow her scent if you're in Lupus?
I don't know if...
Well, where did your friend say that she saw her last? Maybe you can catch a scent there, and we can follow it from there.
Where did Janet say that they were when she last saw her?
She said, Janet said that they were meant to meet that night when she went out tagging Lewis.
But she had seen her
the day before that. They'd arranged it the day before. That's the last anyone you know has seen.
Yeah, but Fenna did ask her where they were when they made that appointment.
Oh, that's true. Oh God, I can't remember. That's so long ago that it's a while. Well, I'll just make a call on it here and say that.
If I'm not completely mistaken, it was near Temple Bar.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No, I think that's just something I said on accident because I mixed information up.
That's also possible. Well, let's just say that they met at Temple Bar.
Okay.
You know.
It was somewhere around Temple Bar.
That would be deserted now, right?
At least, yeah, there wouldn't be any leeches, and it's still blocked off as far as I'm aware. So.
Then why don't we go see if you can catch a scent there? It's
because we're both tired.
Yeah, but doesn't scent fade the longer it takes?
It does. Let's go.
Alright.
But I didn't catch a scent when we were out looking for ammo.
Well, you weren't really looking for a scent, were you?
No, but I think I would have noticed it.
You think? Maybe it was another part then.
Quite possible.
What part of Temple Bar were you running through?
Well, Finna tells me which part it was.
Yep.
Then maybe the opposite part?
Yeah, actually, before we do that, I think I'll just see if I can actually catch anything from the ground around here. And then Finna changes into Lupus because there's no one around. And I shall give you a roll. Difficulty is 4 lower than it would usually be, so it's probably like 6 or something.
Yep.
The super sniffer.
The super sniffer.
Taryn does say that. The super sniffer.
Yes. Let's go with 6.
So in that case, I have 2 successes.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, you do. I can't remember. Do you have 4 in either of those stats? I mean, do you have a speciality because you had a 10?
Yeah, I know. And right now I'm thinking, I should buy perception up 1 more dot because then I can get a speciality.
In smells, in sniffing, yeah, definitely.
You could also just buy a speciality. It's 1 XP, and then you get a speciality even if you don't have 4.
Can I do that retroactively right now?
No, I believe you need to have 4 before you can do it.
Well,
you need to have 4 dots in something before you can take a speciality, and then you can buy extra specialities once you're there.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah.
I just remember there was talk about specialities, and once you needed a speciality, the second you bought 1 in it.
Yeah. You get the first one for free when you reach 4 dots, and then you can buy additional ones for 1 XP.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
Yes. So.
Well, I'm at 3 dots in perception and 2 in alertness, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not a problem, and you have very low difficulty because compared to others because of the whole smelly thingy. But yes.
Yeah, and lupus.
And exactly. So yeah, it's not a problem. You pick up. You do pick up percent, but again, it's several days old, and it is difficult to follow because it's mixed up with other smells.
So, in short, this is not going to work out.
You can try to follow it. It's not. I mean, you have her scent.
Yeah, it's not impossible. So, I am going to give it a try.
All right. I am going
Taryn
to.
goes, oh, wait. You're gonna run around and loop us. Wait a second. And then she finds the color they used for the video, puts it on her, and then go.
I am
Finna
going to
is going
switch
to-
you over to this
Oh.
map.
I was about to say that Finn is going to pretend like she isn't a little bit humiliated, but she's done this before, so it's
Yes.
not really that bad.
And where you are right now is. Let's see. You are over here on Sycamore Street. There.
You're saying she isn't bitchy?
What? She's a total bitch. She's lupus.
Yeah. And what you can smell is that she's been going from. I'll just use the pointing tool. You can see this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is going down. She's been going down Dame Street, and then right around that corner here, she's turned, and then she's headed across Meeting House Square. It gets difficult to follow the scent there because on all the squares obviously there's been more people, so but you still manage to hang on. You follow it all the way on to Eustace Street, which is then here, and she then continues, or she's continued through Curved Street. The problem with Curved Street is that it's a food market where people sell spicy foreign food freshly made. And that's where you just lose the sense, amidst nice sense of every conceivable spice from every part of the world. Apparently, you just lose Nala's sense.
Well, can always try again at the other end of the street.
You can try, certainly, definitely, yes.
Taryn tries to follow her the best she can.
One success at the other end of the street.
Yes.
Assuming that the difficulty isn't 13 normally.
No, the no, it's not. Good grief. Difficulty 13. That would be yeah, you get to you do catch it again at Temple Lane South. It is harder to follow and it takes you longer now, but you manage to follow it down towards Temple Bar Square, which is over here obviously, which is near the actual, well, just the actual nightclub called Temple Bar is on that corner here where I'm pinging.
Yeah.
And obviously that's Leech Central.
Taryn looks
Don't
worried
like
at the
this.
place she apparently turned into, and then looks at Finna, and then back at the Temple Bar Square she turned into. This doesn't look good.
Fantasy is a lowered.
You think you can find out which one she went into, or if she continued after this?
Finna responds by sniffing very intently at the ground.
Hmm.
What is above the...
You
No,
you
not above
smell
the-
another. You catch another scent. You catch another scent that you
Yeah.
were unfamiliar with. What? Sorry, what did you say, Aya?
Sorry, I'm trying to get the cat to stop, but she's dancing around in front of me, so I couldn't reach the mute button.
Oh, no
Oh.
problem. No, you're catching a scent that you haven't smelled before, and yet there's this. Yeah, there is something that's off, something that feels. It makes your primal urge tingle. Your werewolf sense.
Her wolfie sense is
Yes,
tingling.
Yes, exactly.
It's not the spidey sense, it's the
Yes,
wolfie
it's
sense.
the wolfie sense,
And it's
yes.
tingling.
Why does this remind me of when we were about to find out that Janet had turned?
Uh-oh. We're gonna find her in a butcher shop somewhere. And she's just sleeping there with a huge belly. No one dares to get her out. Wishful thinking.
This is around the time where you realize that since you came into Temple Bar, you haven't heard a bird, you haven't even seen a pigeon or what they call a seagull. And let's face it, you're right next to the Liffey. There are always gulls, if nothing else. There are always pigeons. I mean, I'm sorry, but you know they're flying rats. City pigeons are flying rats, and they are omnipresent. Except there aren't any here. It's just too quiet. There are still. I mean, even if the place has been cordoned off, there should still be some sounds.
Oh, so it's just all devoid of sound. Can we hear each other?
Yeah, you can hear each other.
Taryn mumbles softly. You think they started eating the birds that got in here because no people comes in anymore? Would make sense, wouldn't it? Like George eats birds and stuff.
So basically, you two are currently standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And down here in Merchant's Arch, where you've been before, because that's where the tattoo parlor is. The 3 dragonflies tattoo. You see the first living creature you've seen since you arrived, and it's a black cat darting down the Merchant's Arch.
Don't you dare, Finna. No, Taryn just sees it and goes, "Don't you dare, Finna."
And Finnis and Silver look like, can we?
Please.
No. I'll put a leash on you if you don't behave.
So did you say that that Nala's scent stopped where the new one began, or?
You can't. It's lost here on Temple Square. There's just nothing to hold on to.
Yeah. Oh. And this, for you to point the other scent out that's foreign to her, it must be very foreign, because there are a lot of.
There are a lot of
scents
scents here, but the ones that the thing that makes this one so special is specifically that it is.
Yes, it had my wolfy sense tingling.
Yeah, exactly. It got all your senses standing on end, basically.
So.
Oh, Helle.
What? I'm going to roll for curiosity.
Sure.
What?
I'm going to roll for curiosity.
Yes, you have.
Roll.
Yes, you do.
Mm.
That way, I don't necessarily have to make a decision. Oh, that's. Yeah, that is successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't even set the difficulty, but it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. You succeed. You can withstand your curiosity if you want to.
I'm kind of annoyed because Taryn has curiosity too, but she can't smell it. She's not in lupus, so she can't smell it.
I want to know, though. So, we follow the new scent.
Where are you going, Finna?
So basically, you're heading down Merchant's Arch. Very well.
Yeah. Oh, that's where the cat was too.
You get.
Then I and maybe I can figure out if there's anything strange about the cat's smell, since it was just there.
Well, what happens
Taryn
is
just goes, "Where are you going?" "I said leave the cat alone!" And then she rounds up to her.
you get you get down here to the corner. You look down, around the corner into Merchant's Arch to see what the hell is going on, and you see right in front of the door to 3 Dragonflies to 2, you see this. I'm just going to give you here you go.
From DeviantArt, no less.
Yes.
Oh.
Kitty cat! Oh, I think we found the 5th kitty. The one that was gonna come later. I hope so. Taryn looks down.
There is no question that cat is aware that you are there.
Oh, there's
I told
nobody
you you
else
should
here, right?
taste-
Sorry, what?
Well, there's clearly nobody else around here, right?
Nobody else knows.
Wait, if Fenna changes into
part-
Homid now, well, I don't suppose anything happened to the collar.
No, it was fitted for your wolf neck, so it's just a little big now.
Exactly. So, yeah, Fenna just goes back into Homid to, greet the cat.
Yeah. Taryn stops up and looks at the cat and then looks at her. Aren't you happy you didn't just dart after it now?
I wasn't going to dart after it, I was going to see if there was anything strange since we haven't seen anything else living around here. And also, hi! Hello.
Taryn waves at the cat. Hello.
The cat backs up, all hackles raised and hissing and not looking particularly pleased with the situation.
It is a big cat, right? Or
Yeah,
is
it's roughly the size of a panther.
but with pointed ears?
Yes.
That's strange.
Yes.
It doesn't smell dead.
No, it certainly doesn't smell dead.
It's something she sells Fenna, but it
Why
doesn't
would
look
it-
like it does either.
Why would it smell dead? Wait,
Well, it runs around near Temple Bar with leeches. Who knows what they can do?
don't you think he or she would be offended to be called an it?
Well, he or she is not talking with us right now. How can I tell?
I don't know.
Well, the kitty
See?
is,
I'm not gonna see. I'm not gonna say anything.
the kitty is backing up and away.
Yeah, I'm not gonna chase after it if it doesn't want to talk with us. Actually, I should probably
No.
roll curiosity.
Yeah, well, at least to Finna, this seems strange that, unless it's because it hasn't heard from our Khan, then it does seem mighty strange that they are avoiding us.
Nope. She can resist.
Well,
Uh,
I'm just going to do another one of these rolls.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's probably also resist.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to go against the curiosity.
You don't have to if
Yeah.
you don't want to.
No, the question
I
is.
was just rolling to see if I could resist if I wanted to.
Yeah, same.
I am going to show you guys another picture. Here you go.
Mm,
This is...
weren't it a small cat when we saw it dart down and then it turned big?
Well, we were just told that.
Yeah,
we
it
saw
was a small cat when it darted into Merchant's Ark, and now it's considerably larger. Yes.
Fenna, you think it took steroids?
Anyway, if you take a look at the picture I sent you, that's Merchant's Ark, Merchant's Arch as it looks. That's so you have an idea of the dimensions of the place. It's quite small, it's quite narrow, and there are plenty of nooks and crannies and doorways and stuff.
Okay, that actually looks really cozy.
It's pretty okay in there, yeah.
It's just, aww, this reminds me of an old-timey town. Taryn clears her throat softly. Well, we're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, we mean you no harm. We actually just talked with other bastard this morning.
And if it is a bastard, we're not actually sure of that.
It size changed.
Yeah, but now it looks like no, she looks like a big panther, but before it was a tiny cat. I don't know.
Well, it was still it wasn't a tiny cat, but it wasn't, you know, it was the size of a Maine Coon or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's their version of a bone gnawer.
Or maybe it's never. Or maybe the first one was its complete feline form, and this is its hispo. I don't know.
That's
But
kind
we
of what
really
I'm
don't
saying.
need-
Anyway, the while you guys are talking, the cat manages to back up to almost to the where the arc actually meets the wall, and then it deftly and very swiftly turns around, jumps up on the wall, and scampers up on the roof, claws digging into the wall.
Should I follow, or should we just let him or her go?
Let him or her go. We might meet him or her again. Didn't Nisha say that the fifth one was gonna meet with him anyway?
Mm.
And we kinda need to go back and tell whether the others is saying okay or not. Connell is actually projecting us to follow our curiosity. We're not gonna chase a cat through a city, damn it! We already promised them we wouldn't chase cats anymore.
I like that. It's like submit to the dark side. We have cookies.
You end up care of me?
Finna changes back into Lupus to see if the scent that she did catch out there was indeed this cat by, sniffing the ground where it just was.
It was.
And the trail that she got around where she couldn't catch
It's not the
not
same
a
one. Not the same one.
Yeah, it was older, right?
Yeah.
Did it seem to be about the same time, or
No.
also too difficult to tell? Maybe.
Again,
Yeah.
it's Nala has been gone for several days,
Yeah.
even with a strong sense of smell by now in a place which is a place like Temple Bar. It's just very, very difficult, not outright impossible to tell these scents apart.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't really help you find her.
No. We
Well,
should
maybe
head back and
isn't
get
this
some sleep,
place
right?
Isn't this place actually surveillanced?
Yes, it is.
Maybe
There's
we can go back and see where she went.
CCTV all over the place. In actual fact.
Maybe
Yes.
we can see where she went after she got here. We do
Okay,
have
but
CCTV.
I don't think we should go into the Umbra to do anything around here.
No, I can do it from here, I guess. It would probably be too risky, and I'm probably kind of too tired.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while you guys are talking over here, I just need to check with the others.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing, since this is after the rest.
They're hanging out in the park.
It's still
I'm guessing we're guarding the green.
All right. It's still daytime hours, so there are about 2,000 Irishmen in the green at this time. So
I think
Well,
Connell sent out. Sorry, Rasmus, go ahead.
Oh, you just go.
I think Connell sent out a message to all of his wolf buddies asking for any leads on vampire activity.
Yes, wolf buddies.
His wolf acquaintances, then.
That seems more right.
Wolf allies.
Wolf. Wolf allies.
Wolf friends.
Let's go with that.
Wolf friends,
Not
yes.
Yes, wolf friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
You,
Other than that, he's just chilling in the green.
in the green, yeah.
Yeah.
The message arrives around that time to the to you two in Temple Bar. There's a well, not so much for Fenna because she's in Lupus, but for Taryn, there's a beeping from your cell phone.
Why would he
Carl
even
looks
send
at
that
the-
text when they're supposed to be getting sleep?
Taryn checks the cell phone. It's her cell phone and it wants her attention. She can't just ignore it.
Well,
She is a weaver. Why not?
Her will is weak.
Yes.
so you check the
Oh
cell
yeah,
phone
we just
and,
established that actually.
and get a message from Connell's asking if you have any leads on vampire activity.
No, Temple Bar is pretty quiet, but we did see a black cat. Comes back.
New text, was the black cat a vampire?
No, the black cat turned into a panther and then it ran off.
New text, who the hell gives a fuck then?
I don't know.
No reply.
Can you find anything, Fenna?
Fenna shakes her head.
For a jock, Connell has a lot of sass.
At least I don't believe that Fenna has found anything.
No, not really. However, you do smell something new as you turn around. There's some noise
What
in the
might that
background.
be?
Somebody moving furniture around or something?
Yeah, just muted. Someone's doing the dishes in the
Oh,
background.
okay. When you turn around, you see two men. Not that they're looking at you or anything. They don't even. I mean, you are in Merchant's Ark, so they don't actually see you. They don't look down that way. They're coming. They're walking across Temple Bar Square towards Temple Bar, carrying a couple of boxes. They're not terribly large boxes, but they are carrying one each towards Temple Bar itself.
Suspicious.
Do the boxes look like the boxes you found the rounds in?
No, but that's a good question. But no.
Yeah, thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
I can make arrows too.
Yes.
So many curiosity rolls.
Yeah.
I think it's a success.
It is. However, remember that it is a success. It's a single one. Remember
Yeah,
that
I can always choose to select them.
yeah, but also remember again that the place is cordoned off. There aren't supposed to be any civilians in here.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
She does.
why I had to
make the-
roll for it.
Oh yeah, okay.
in the beginning, Taryn is like, "Oh, that's curious," and then, but not interesting." Then she looks away. Wait, no one is supposed to be in there. Ooh. She looks at Fenna. Questioningly.
Stealth modes activate.
Taryn looks at Fenna. Then she looks after them. Then she looks at Fenna. Then she starts jumping from foot to foot. I'm tired,
like
but I
sort of-
really want to know.
Fenna sort of snaps at her ankles, trying to say, "Don't jump.
They don't.
Calm down."
They don't notice you. They just walk across the square, and you can't see. You are at the moment. Let me just point out. You are here.
The This is my role to stealth after them.
Yes, you are around the
Look
R
at it.
in Arch, and that means you can't really see if they actually enter Temple Bar itself, the nightclub, but it looks like they were heading that way with quite determined steps. So
Yeah, I'm pretty
holy
sure I'm invisible.
shit! Yes. Okay. Goddamn! What a roll.
Fenna started. Taryn's following.
I'm just gonna let the viewers get a look at that final roll there. 6 dice, a single 1, and the rest are all 9s or 10s. Holy effing f!
I should buy another dot in something so I can get a specialty.
Yay! Taryn doesn't fuck up.
Yay!
Yay!
Holy shit, she has a lot of dice for that.
She's in lupus, meaning extra dex.
Oh, yeah, right. Lupus. Mine
You
actually
can
have
buy
another
your
design.
lupus.
Oh, let's get the last 2 dice just to see if you can continue. Jesus,
Another
there's
10.
another 10.
Well,
Sadly,
boy.
Sadly, the
has,
other one wasn't the 9.
Yeah.
Taryn has 3 dex, and then she gets 2 for being in lupus because she changes the second she sees Fenna goes after, like, oh, yeah, say, ooh, fight for me.
So you are sneaking after them.
Yes.
That's not
What
too-
is that?
It's not too hard. I mean, soft paws and everything, and they don't seem to really notice. But when you get to, the corner, you've actually, you see the door to Temple Bar close after them. They have entered the nightclub, which isn't open at this time of day.
Well, it shouldn't be open at all because everything is closed there.
Exactly. But even if, then it would be open at this hour.
I kind of like the fact that Fenna actually looks the part of a dog, whereas Taryn is completely platinum white now with galaxy-colored hair tips in lupus. So she looks like a fucking disco ball.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's kind of faded, but it's still she has purples and blues and blacks down the tips of her fur all the way.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Well, we can at least look in a window.
Yeah, you can.
We are yipping to each other, apparently.
It's not too difficult. You can communicate in Garou speak. So,
Then Taryn thinks that's a very good idea and follows to look in a window.
Yep. That involves because yeah, I'm just gonna find yet another picture for you. I'm really good with that today. So
That's okay.
Yay.
We like seeing what's
Like
going on.
picture proof.
this is the actual building, and as you can see, looking up and into those windows is a little bit difficult if you're in lupus, unless you hop up on that little bench.
Well, or stand on hind legs.
Yeah, you could do that as well, and then just prop your front paws up on the edge. That's just going to look absolutely silly. I'm sorry.
And doesn't matter. Still stealthy mode.
Yes.
Yeah, still stealthy mode.
Well, again, it doesn't make you invisible. It just means that they don't actually notice you because you don't make any noise.
Yeah.
But
Well, others outside might see 2 wolves look into a bar.
Yeah, exactly. But
Their hind legs, but still.
yeah, still. But you
Well,
guys
there shouldn't be anyone outside. So.
exactly. That's the thing. There shouldn't be anyone.
There shouldn't be anyone inside either.
No, but you look in,
No.
and you see a group of people, 6 of them in all. 2 women, 4 men, who are all. Well, the 2 newcomers aren't sitting, but the other 4 are. They're sitting around a table. They have each have a pint in front of them. It sounds like, or it looks like, you can't really hear it, but it looks like there's a conversation going on, and it's pretty clear that people are nervous. the two newcomers seem to be explaining something, and the people who are already seated around the table look, to put it mildly, they look disbelieving. They look like they can't really believe what it is they're hearing. And before we get your reactions to that, we should probably take our first break.